Flood Aid, broadcast across America, Thursday at 6:30.
Hillary Clinton goes to Congress, still fighting for health care reform in America. But is the mission really on track, or has it been derailed?
From yoga to diet, alternative medicine gets a giant boost from the insurance industry.
And Eye on America. Tonight, the story of an unusual death, a police investigation, and a small town in the grip of a racial chokehold.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. The Clinton administration tried today to refocus attention and shore up support for health care reform. Hillary Clinton was up on Capitol Hill to revive enthusiasm among Democrats. But as correspondent Linda Douglas reports, it was a very tough sell.
Despite growing concern that health reform is losing momentum, Hillary Clinton insisted today that plans for a sweeping new health system are right on track.
We are on the same timetable we always have been. As soon as reconciliation is finished, we intend to go forward with health care.
Budget reconciliation will be completed next week. The First Lady predicts health care will come in September. But some Democrats in Congress say they've become frustrated with the process. The White House wants members of Congress to promote the health plan when they go home during the August recess, but there is still no plan to promote.
It's going to be very difficult when most of us have no earthly idea what the health plan is going to be.
CBS News has learned that at least 4 versions of a health plan have been shown to the president, yet he has still not made key decisions on the plan's benefits or how to pay for them. And some in Congress worry that the White House may get sidetracked by its campaign to promote the North American Free Trade Agreement. Earlier this month, Vice President Al Gore told the Washington Post NAFTA should come first.
It seems to me that if we're going to focus on the issue in which the country elected this president and this Congress to act, it ought to be health care, not NAFTA.
The White House insists health care is its next big priority, and polls show the public still urgently wants health care reform. But those same polls show voters are beginning to lose confidence in the Clintons' ability to produce the right solution. Linda Douglas, CBS News, Washington.
New medical evidence tonight, if any is needed, that the current health care system just doesn't work for many millions of Americans. A major new study finds breast cancer patients with private medical insurance have a much better chance of long-term survival than those who don't. CBS News health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott has that story.
36-year-old Pamela Greenwich has advanced breast cancer. She was diagnosed last May, 3 years after she first complained to doctors of a lump in her breast. She's getting chemotherapy, but it may be too late.
It's to the point where, there's nothing they can do about it. It's already spread.
Greenwich is covered by Medicaid, government-sponsored insurance for low-income Americans. A study in tomorrow's New England Journal of Medicine says the reason she and thousands of other breast cancer patients are diagnosed too late is because they are either on Medicaid or have no health insurance at all.
Our results suggest that these patients may not be evaluated as thoroughly at the time of their diagnosis, and they may not be treated as vigorously.
As a result, the study says breast cancer patients, either on Medicaid or without insurance, are about 50% more likely to die than women with private health insurance. 34 million Americans have no health insurance, which deprives them of regular mammogram screening and early diagnosis. But even women covered by Medicaid, like Pamela Greenwich, don't fare much better.
Had a physician been examining her breast on a regular basis, this may have been prevented.
The Clinton administration says this staggering disparity points out the need for a health reform package that guarantees quality care for everyone.
It emphasizes the importance of every woman having a physician, of every woman in our country getting mammograms.
But opponents of health care reform say this study is proof that government health insurance may not be much better than no insurance at all. So the question is how to provide high-quality personal care for everyone at a price we can afford. Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
There is one new answer today from a major private insurance company trying to do something about the high cost of heart disease. It amounts to a radical reform in treatment and coverage. Correspondent John Blackstone explains.
Nice and high and lift. Lift, lift, you're breathing.
This isn't an exercise class, it's a medical treatment. And these are patients, all with heart disease. They helped convince one of the nation's biggest health insurance companies that lifestyle changes will do them more good than surgery or drugs.
Keep up the good work.
They are patients of Dr. Dean Ornish, who preaches that yoga, meditation, and a vegetarian diet can fight heart disease. But until now, he'd never convinced an insurance company.
You know, in the past, insurance companies would pay for the bypass. They'd pay the $40,000 or $50,000, whatever it is. They'd pay the $15,000 to $20,000 for the angioplasty. They'll pay for a lifetime of medications, but they wouldn't pay for people who wanted to change their lifestyle.
But yesterday, with Dr. Ornish serving his own low-fat vegetarian recipes, Mutual of Omaha announced it will, for the first time, provide coverage for the unusual techniques of alternative medicine.
It makes sense that you're able to have much bigger impact on the disease process at much less cost.
At first, Dr. Ornish's unusual program here in Sausalito, California, was treated skeptically by much of the medical establishment. But rigorous scientific study of the results is what now counts for insurance companies.
In our research, there was a 91% reduction in the amount of chest pain. Most of that occurred in the first few weeks.
The patients here are actually making the interventions. They're the ones that are taking control of their diet, their smoking, their exercise.
Preventive medicine is at the center of Hillary Clinton's proposals for health care reform. Mutual of Omaha's decision shows even established insurers recognize there are better, cheaper ways to keep people healthy. John Blackstone, CBS News, Sausalito.
Straight ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, President Clinton says he's prepared to order American pilots into the skies to protect UN troops on the ground in Bosnia.
And Reginald Denny, his accused attackers, and high hopes for justice and peace.
Day 3, fresh flowers. You can't help but notice all the fresh flowers aboard this Royal Caribbean ship. Someone's always scrubbing or polishing something. Our waiter Emilio told us the sheets are washed in soft water in case you've been out in the sun too long. Our ship sailed south. I head north, upstairs to the health spa.
You've got some Royal Caribbean coming.
We could spend all day here.
What if my diarrhea comes back?
You took my Imodium AD caplet.
Imodium AD caplets often work in one dose, unlike the old standby.
Ready?
Before the sun sets?
Imodium AD, the choice for one-dose relief.
Athlete's foot grows just beneath the surface of your skin, so that's where you have to get to cure it. Mycotin penetrates the skin surface with miconazole and kills the annoying fungus right where it starts. Mycotin penetrates, Mycotin cures.
There are signs tonight of some growing international opposition to Israel's strategy of launching artillery and air attacks on Hezbollah guerrillas in southern Lebanon. UN officials say 4 straight days of shelling has destroyed hundreds of homes and scores of villages. As many as 500,000 refugees are said to be streaming northward toward Beirut. That was the stated goal of the Israeli counteroffensive. The UN Secretary General today denounced Israel for deliberately creating the refugee crisis, and the U.S. government also was critical. If the Israelis are trying to snuff out guerrilla rocket attacks, they haven't succeeded yet. More rockets hit home today in northern Israel, injuring 1 person. Testifying in Congress today, CIA Director James Woolsey confirmed reports that North Korea has tested a new missile with a range of 600 miles. Woolsey said the missile is capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. He said what concerns him is North Korea's efforts to sell the missile to countries such as Iran.
As for the ongoing ethnic war in Bosnia, President Clinton said today that he's ready to use American warplanes to protect peacekeepers if they are attacked again. White House correspondent Susan Spencer has that story.
With Sarajevo on the verge of falling, with United Nations peacekeepers attacked twice in the last week, the Allies are again threatening airstrikes against the Serbs and say this time they mean it.
Will it be enough to deter aggression, to stop the shelling of Sarajevo, to bring the parties to the peace table? I don't know, but we are prepared to do our part.
If the United Nations asks, and the UN is poised.
I hope that we will be able to find a definitive solution on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday.
Top officials conferred today at the White House, which clearly sees this as a limited assignment.
The United States is bound. We are committed
to come to the aid of the United Nations forces as a part of NATO if they are attacked, and they have been.
There is no plan to aggressively patrol safe havens or to protect UN relief convoys, much less to turn back the Serbs. But if peacekeepers are attacked, American planes at the Aviano Air Base in Italy and on the carrier Roosevelt are ready. British, French, and Dutch pilots would join, all as soon as NATO ground controllers are in place. Mr. Clinton promises to have appropriate consultation with Congress first. Reaction today had a resigned, it's about time feel to it.
It is also the right thing to do for the United States, whose credibility has been diminished, whose power has been sneered at, whose president has been derided by the Serbian aggressors.
Officials here very much hope the Serbs get the message. The last thing Mr. Clinton needs is another foreign crisis, just as his crucial economic plan nears its final votes. Susan Spencer, CBS News, the White House.
Italy is reeling today from a new round of deadly and unexplained car bombs aimed at cultural and religious buildings. Thousands in Milan protested the attack there last night, which killed 5 people outside an art museum. In Rome, car bombs damaged 2 historic churches, including St. John Lateran Basilica. Pope John Paul today visited the Basilica, his formal seat as Bishop of Rome. As with last May's Florence bombing, there has been no claim of responsibility.
Stay here with us for much more CBS Evening News, including the sudden death of a shooting star. Did it have to happen?
Why is Tux medicated pads the brand of hemorrhoid relief hospitals trust most? Because when hemorrhoids flare up, Tux provides soothing, cooling relief on contact. Tux, the brand hospitals trust most.
It's never been your style to live like anyone else, so why start now? The American Dimensions collection from Ethan Allen. Eclectic and most agreeably priced. For people who really love to live at home. Right now, there's a sale going on at your local Ethan Allen.
A night for Excedrin PM.
Daddy said I can't.
You're late.
My head aches and I can't sleep.
Excedrin PM. Headache medicine, plus it helps you sleep. And rest assured it's aspirin-free.
Look, I'm the last guy you'd see doing something that's good for me. But you know what? I started walking every other morning and eating Wheaties. I'll admit it, I'm hooked. I found out that Wheaties is made with 100% whole grain. Most cereals aren't. And it's a low-fat energy source. All I know is I like the way I feel. I'm not going to tell you I'm a new man, but I'd definitely say I improved. I just want to feel more fit. I'm getting into Wheaties.
They came to Los Angeles for a piece of the California dream. But has it become a paradise lost? An all-new 48 Hours tonight.
Officials are continuing to investigate the apparent suicide last week of Deputy White House Counsel Vincent Foster. There is a development tonight, and law correspondent Rita Braver has the story.
CBS News has learned that new information has been discovered in the case of Vincent Foster, the Deputy White House Counsel believed to have committed suicide. White House sources say that a note believed to be written by Foster was discovered by accident by an aide going through the bottom of his briefcase. It was discovered Monday and is described as an 8x11 sheet of paper that was torn up, but that contained notes said to go to Foster's state of mind over his job. Sources say Foster's family was informed of the contents of the note, as was the president. But Mr. Clinton did not refer to the note when he talked about Foster at a meeting with reporters today.
I called him and we talked for, 20 minutes or so. Talked about what he'd done the weekend before. Talked about some things he was concerned about on the job, but it was just the sort of thing we'd always talk about. He was real work-oriented. And we agreed to meet on Wednesday. That was it.
Sources say that the Park Police, who are leading the investigation into Foster's death, since his body was found in a federal park, are still working on final confirmation that the note was in Foster's hand. The White House tonight would not say when or if the contents of the note will be released. Rita Braver, CBS News, Washington.
Death is so unpredictable, it often seems to come much too soon. That was certainly the case with Reggie Lewis, a young man who seemed to love basketball more than life itself. Giselle Fernandez reports now on the death of a rising star.
Reggie.
Reggie Lewis, the captain, the star shooter, the man the Boston Celtics banked on to bring them back to glory, collapsed on a college court last night doing what he did best, shooting hoops.
Reggie Lewis was an outstanding human being, a gentle, kind, wonderful, considerate guy.
What makes this so tragic is that doctors warned Lewis that the sport he loved could kill him. It was during this play in April that the Celtics guard fainted. A dream team of Boston heart specialists told him the news he didn't want to hear. He had a life-threatening heart ailment.
It started to sink in then that I may not be playing again, and it hit me pretty hard.
Lewis said he was scared and had flashbacks of the sudden death of star college player Hank Gathers, who died of the same heart condition 3 years ago. Still, Lewis was not ready to walk away from the sport that gave him fame and wealth. He sought a second opinion. This time he got the one he wanted. Lewis, flashing his famous smile, listened as doctors said he suffered from a nerve disorder, not a heart problem.
I am optimistic that under medical supervision, Mr. Reggie Lewis will be able to return to professional basketball without limitation.
The Celtics team doctor disagreed and barred him from practice.
I'm worried about Reggie. I'm not so sure he's making the right decisions right now.
So Reggie Lewis, who rose from street ball to the top of his game, was in a medical crossfire. And some critics say when an athlete's life may be on the line, it's up to the professional sports world to step in.
It may be time for pro sports to say, look, we're going to put the health of our athletes first. We need some independent expertise.
Ultimately, it was Lewis, with a wife, a child, and another on the way, who made his toughest decision. It's a tragic story. Reggie Lewis, the street kid who realized his American dream, risked it all to try and hold on to it, and lost his life. Giselle Fernandez, CBS News, New York.
I saw my doctor because the pain was so bad. I was afraid I needed surgery for my hemorrhoids. I was itching. The burning was awful. But my doctor said my hemorrhoids weren't serious. I didn't need surgery. He told me it was time I started using Preparation H.
Preparation H helps relieve the symptoms of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissues, often bringing relief from itching, burning, and painful irritation for hours.
What a difference Preparation H makes.
Doctor recommended Preparation H.
On the surface, it's a perfect neighborhood. People care. They maintain their homes, their cars. But beneath the surface, there could be trouble brewing in the septic system. Ask anyone who's had a backup. Better to maintain your system. That includes Rid-X once a month. Rid-X is a scientific blend of superior digesters that helps keep your system free-flowing. And regular maintenance, including Rid-X, helps prevent backup. Look beneath the surface. Use Rid-X once a month.
Now, Hart's long-term flea and tick protection is not just for white-collar dogs and cats.
Hart's Yummies?
The famous Hart's 2-in-1 flea and tick-killing collars now come in fabulous colors. So every dog and cat can feel comfortable with the powerful benefits of Hart's 2-in-1 protection. Protection that works for up to 5 months, wet or dry. Pets are jumping for joy wearing their 2-in-1 colored collars. Just ask any flea or tick. These are drop-dead colors.
More from the flooded Midwest, where families continue to fight against all odds. And easy baking Southern style tomorrow on CBS This Morning with Harry Smith and Paula Zahn.
Jury selection got underway today in the trial of 2 black men charged with brutally beating a white truck driver during the 1992 civil disturbance in Los Angeles. And a CBS News poll out tonight finds many Los Angeles residents are fearful of what might happen after the verdict. Correspondent Bill Whitaker reports on the trial and the city.
No justice, no peace.
The last act of LA's long nightmare began to unfold today. The cast of characters arrived at criminal court for jury selection in the high-profile, high-tension Reginald Denny beating case to find 12 citizens who can reach a fair decision despite saturation exposure to this. 2 young black defendants face life in prison, charged with attempted murder and related crimes against white trucker Reginald Denny and 7 others during the violence that raged after the first Rodney King trial last year. Because of the racially charged atmosphere, the court has taken the unusual step of hiring a high-powered consultant to help the defense pick an impartial jury.
There is a sense amongst the community, there's a real feeling of inequity in the criminal justice system.
It's an impression the prosecution is fighting hard to overcome.
I can guarantee you one thing, and this is very important, that this jury panel that we are about to swear will be a racially mixed jury.
But finding jurors of any race who haven't already made up their minds could prove difficult. A new CBS News poll found that most people here, no matter what race, think the defendants should be found guilty. Even most blacks we polled said guilty.
Beating a man is wrong. It was just wrong.
But attorneys will argue the defendants were caught up in the heat of the moment. Prosecutors, they say, cannot prove a willful intent to murder.
You see, chaos, people running about, assaulting various people. But there's no apparent plan to go out and kill.
The victim himself is forgiving. The gentleman named Reginald Denny hopes the trial will help the city get past the pain and anger as he has.
How can I hold a grudge against people who've been wronged in a number of ways, and I just happen to be there when they vented their frustration?
Prosecutors say no plea bargains without substantial jail terms for the defendants. Defense attorneys say they'll take their chances with a jury. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A grand jury in Texas today declined to indict 2 police officers in a case that's been compared with the beating of Rodney King in Los Angeles. It began the same way, white officers arresting a black man. But it had a very different ending. And while there is no videotape of the incident, there is plenty of anger. As Bob McNamara reports in tonight's Eye on America.
The train has always been the fastest thing in Corsicana, Texas. A quiet place that's always set its own slow pace. Here, people felt protected from big city problems. But this summer, in this small town, angry questions about race became reality.
Why isn't somebody here to protect our rights? All we're asking is that good white Christians stick together. This is Corsicana's business, man, not yours.
Since last month, the city has been targeted by the Klan.
Right is right.
And taunted by the Black Panthers.
And wrong is wrong.
The town's own people have marched on City Hall.
Heard your concerns, and we see your concerns in the
And some have turned on each other. Here, life changed when a black man died during an arrest by white officers.
Craig Thomas was a human being, and the officers were just totally responsible for the man's death. No one else. Nothing else.
He was a dangerous felon trying to escape. You know, it takes some force to apprehend people who are like that. You can't give them a sponge bath, tie them up in ribbons, and get them to jail.
The 2 officers who arrested Thomas have lost their jobs.
He wanted to be a good police officer.
Their families have lost their illusions about small-town life.
Almost as if my home has been taken away from me. I don't feel comfortable anymore.
2 autopsies show that Thomas died from a fatal combination of his struggle with police, the drugs and alcohol in his system, and the way he was tied up. But the facts of the case have almost become secondary to the facts of life in Corsicana.
It's always been the tracks. The tracks always divide the blacks and the whites.
If the rail line was once the racial line, today the division is still drawn inside many minds.
Blacks on one side, whites on the other side, you know. We do have a problem. It's just a problem all over the world. It's not just Corsicana's problem.
Blacks and whites, no longer separated, still aren't quite together.
Black guys, they don't want to promote to the white side, and whites don't go to the black side.
I don't have no business over there anyway.
Blacks, they just beat up on whites and stuff like that. And they want to be rich just like some of the white people.
I do not see it as a racially divided town.
It is the main topic on Main Street.
We just want people to know that we do have a fine town here.
For the mayor and his lifelong friends, the criticism of Corsicana stings.
It's almost like a family in this town, and the outsiders seem to have pulled us apart.
We need each other. We need each other.
On both sides of town.
Those of us that live over here, black and white, it's taken us too long to get what we've got now.
Both sides of the conflict.
We can work it out.
A new appreciation of what is at risk.
It takes 9 votes to return a true bill on any indictment.
Not just the way the rest of the world sees this city, but the way they see themselves. Not just the way things used to be, but the way they are from now on. In Corsicana, Texas, Bob McNamara for Eye on America.
The challenge of unity in a multiracial society. Part of our world tonight. Coming up on 48 Hours, it's out with the old, in with the new in Los Angeles. Whatever happened to the California dream? Is it still there? Watch 48 Hours on Sunset Boulevard, tonight at 10, 9 Central Time.
And we'll see you again tomorrow night here on the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather and I thank you for joining us, and have a good night.
Good night.
Hey, you know what they're doing in there? It's great. Red Lobster's got this enormous shrimp platter. You get to mix and match 30 shrimp for just $9.99. You get 30 shrimp in whatever combination you choose of grilled shrimp, fried shrimp, or scampi. Mix and match 30 shrimp into the combination you love best for just $9.99. My son even got a kid's shrimp meal for just $2.99. I can hardly wait to come back to Red Lobster and do it again.
A family grows. A boy dreams. One day, they'll be ready for college. Life insurance from the Farmers Insurance Group can help send them on their way. Because life insurance can protect your family now, while you put money away that will grow for college later on. Farmers Life Insurance. For safety today and security tomorrow. Farmers Insurance Group. For life.
Look, I'm eating corn on the cob, thanks to Super Polygrip in the easy-to-use pump.
Super Polygrip holds so tight, many denture wearers can enjoy more of their favorite foods, even corn on the cob. Super Polygrip.
Day after day, you make those glasses of thick Metamucil disappear. Why not make them all disappear with Fibercon? Doctor-recommended Fibercon gives you the same fiber regularity in tablets.
Easy-to-swallow tablets.
Get doctor-recommended Fibercon.
I worked so hard and waited so long for this day. My own class, my name on the blackboard. But what I didn't count on was a terrible headache. That's when I reached for my Tylenol.
Now more than ever, more people turn to Tylenol for powerful pain relief.
The Tylenol worked. The day was like a dream.
Extra strength Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most. CBS News.